what's up? This is Zach Osborne. You're listening to the MotoXpod show.
What up, guys? This is Stank Dog. Thanks for listening to the MotoXpod show. Don't listen to Pulp MX.
Save me from myself. My arms and legs are bound like an aging corpse from another world. I'll scream the truth 6 feet underground. Feel alive inside yourself. Watch your enemies dispel.
Welcome to the MotoXpod show, starring Darkside. It's co-host Scotty, sometimes TJ.
What's up, boys and girls? We're back with the MotoXpod show, episode 251, brought to you by our title sponsor, Jerky's USA. You guys already know the drill. For decades, Jerky's USA has been the leader in moto, plastic, and accessories with products that fit perfect, look great, and last. Jerky's has what you need. Whether you're looking for a full plastic kit, individual pieces, hand guards, chain guides and sliders, or anything else they offer, even skid plates. They got a skid plate on that YZ. Looks good. Visit Sherby'sUSA.com and support our title sponsor. Also on board, our co-title sponsor, Racetech. Racetech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning gold valves, and settings are 100% guaranteed and made right here in the USA. Racetech also offers state-of-the-art precision engine services and parts to all engine builders. Visit Racetech.com for more info and use promo code MotoXpod to save. Fly Racing's still on board with us. They've been developing and innovating its gear line since 1998. You can ask any of the current riders, including Zach Osborne, R.J. Hampshire, Damon Bradshaw, Justin Brayton, many more. Dean Wilson now in Fly Racing. Check out your local dealership. Ask for Fly Racing, distributed through WPS. Go buy everything you can get your hands on, including X-brand goggles, also distributed through WPS. The new Lucid's out, as well as the original GOX goggle system and the the EKSS with the outriggers. All great goggles, fantastic price points. X-brand goggles. Check out your local dealership. Works Connection. Want to get a whole shot? You need a Pro Launch Start device. Want better clutch play, smoother adjustment? Got to get a Works Elite Clutch Perch. Works Connection. Use that promo code MotoXpod20 at worksconnection.com. They also have customized master cylinder covers. You can get them engraved, radiator braces, the master cylinder cover. Scotty, do you have any of those any of those little pretty looking things on your bike that you don't get to ride anymore?
Yeah, I have some anodized stuff on there. It was all on there when I got it.
Yeah, I love that stuff because I'm old and I like it. Looks good. Torque One Racing's on board. Our Jerky snacks, right? Football season. If you're a football fan, Supercross about to kick off. Gotta have your snacks. EatOurJerky.com. Use promo code MotoXpod21. Get you some sizzling hot, some teriyaki. Help the Waitsman brothers out. Berm Lords Graphics and Jersey ID. You want to get your jersey lettered? You want to get Eddie from Iron Maiden in your numbers and look cool like me? Berm Lords Graphics and Jersey ID.
Look cool like me?
I did. I squeaked a little bit. Shut up, Scotty, over there. You talk like that all the time.
Yeah, but
so
that's why I got to get you.
You can email those boys graphics at bermlords.com. They'll do a full kit. They can do numbers. They do your jersey. They can do it all. Shock Socks is on board. Protect your seals. Williams Motorworks, Extreme Colors helmet painting, Blood lubricant oil lines. I just mixed some two-stroke oil yesterday with some Blood lubricants for my YZ. And, of course, I have the Barracuda line in the four-stroke. Barracuda. Also on board, Power Band Racing, TruFusion Sports, and Grill Your Ass Off. I cooked chicken the other night, layered it with Grill Your Ass Off.
You got any extra TruFusion stuff? I might need it after this weekend.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I probably do not have any extra TruFusion at the moment. But real quick, again, this is episode 251. We're going to talk to Michael Mosiman tonight and Enzo Lopes. They're coming up pretty quick. We started a little bit late. Had our Black Magic.
We had some Black Magic.
Our camera system had an update, and it was not ready to go. I guess I'll take the blame for that. So
I clicked a button, I think.
Maybe so. But anyway, I do want to give a shout-out, thoughts, prayers, whatever your belief system is. To Brandon Hartraff for full recovery. He has some massive injuries. I've got a list here. L1, L2 end plate fractures. L3, L4 transverse process fractures. L1, L3 spinous process fractures. Left hip dislocation. Right rib fractures 5 through 7. Right scapular fracture. And his right pneumothorax punctured lung with chest tube.
Does not sound like an
absolute
ideal situation.
sucktown. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. We don't have a lot of time because we're running late. So we're going to race this weekend, though. That's what you're talking about a minute ago. You're going to race my YZ.
I actually get to go do this on a motocross track. Be a little more in my element this time.
Yep,
Maybe I'll actually finish.
We'll not let you touch the bike beforehand so that we don't lose a drain plug or something like that.
Oh, well, I can maybe move the handlebars back.
I don't know. You're very lucky I'm even allowing you to ride one of my bikes again.
Well, if you let me take it home, I'll fix it.
Yeah, no, you can't take it home. I got too much to do. I got to use it the next week.
Well, I'll have it back to you Monday.
You're going to take it home Sunday night and bring it right back Monday morning?
Or Tuesday.
Yeah, see, I need it Monday. I'm riding Monday.
Well, we'll figure something out. I guess I have to come back over here.
Got testing. I'll bring it home.
It's details, baby, details.
Yeah, it's tough when you borrow somebody's bike. But like last time, man, you moved clickers, didn't put them back. You could have at least done that.
Yeah, I could have.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to race at a local track, Athens Motocross track Sunday. TJ may be back in town now. He just didn't show up for the show. I don't know. He drove home.
Driving for 16 hours and still can't make it.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is. He should be here. He's a loser. But we're going to race Sunday. Saturday, I'm doing a bunch of product testing. I've got FXR gear to test, Alpine Star gear to test, FMF exhaust on the YZ, Electron carburetor on the YZ, something else, EVS chest protectors. I think that's all we're doing.
How do you test a chest protector? You slam it to the ground?
Just wear it, see if it's comfortable. Yeah, I'll get TJ or somebody in front of me
to just roost the crap out of me. TJ rides a 250F. He ain't going to roost you that hard.
Well, Steve's track. I'll have Steve ride in front of me. I don't know. Just mainly about comfort and stuff, but we're going to do some testing for some guys. Scotty, how much time we got? 4 minutes, so not much time. Have you read any of my articles I've posted on Vital?
I don't. It's okay. To be fair, I've never gone on Vital before.
Wow. Okay. Well, you're fired.
So I've just never been that. I've just never done that. I've never been a forum guy. So sue me, I guess. I don't know. But well, if you're like, do you post them on your Instagram that you're like, hey,
I'm doing too many of them. I got to where I quit posting them on my personal
stuff.
Now they're on Vital's Instagram, they're on Vital's Twitter, they're on Vital's YouTube.
Well, now that you kindly asked me to see if I would check them out, I will start checking them out.
I didn't even ask you to check them out. I just asked you if you had checked them out.
No, I haven't, but okay. I will.
All right. I did my first product test review. Went out today for the
What's funny is I read.
It's fine, go ahead and talk over me.
Yeah, I will. I read Chase's because he sent it to me. He sent it to me on Instagram. Hey, look, I wrote this article. I'm like, oh, it looks good, man. Good job.
Yeah, but that's not okay.
He sent it to me and I read it.
It's kind of
going back in.
You got to go online. Like I have to edit. I have pictures.
Still read it.
Huh?
I read it.
Okay. All right. Well, part of what he wrote is in the one that's coming out for EVS. I haven't done that one yet. Yeah. But I put up a Usway hydration pack one today that TJ helped write some stuff for. I had to edit a lot of that too.
Now if you were to ask me to write something, of course I would read that one.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. You probably wouldn't bring the product back. So.
Or I've just yeah. I'm just a real Jim.
Yeah, you're awesome. All right, we're gonna take our 9 minutes in, take our first commercial break. Ooh, look, I just got a Tinder notification. Oh boy, might be time to go. Might have to cut the show short. I can't even talk. We might have to cut the show short
so that you can go cut the date short.
You never know. It's probably just like they're trying to sell me an upgrade is what it usually, these stupid Tinder notifications. Because I think it's turned off. It's not even on.
How many times have you swiped?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you.
Oh, that's good.
I did most of that in Paris.
Got to pump up them numbers.
Did a bunch of swiping in Paris and California. But
no, that's not going to do any good here.
I don't look at it here. Dude, I don't even have it on here.
I bet you the Tinder around here is pretty rough, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have it on
especially
here.
In your demographic.
What's my demographic? My demographic is 25 to 45.
Your age group and placed in this area is pretty
25
rough.
to 45 and hot. That's my demographic.
Yeah, that is not this. Describe this area.
Yeah, there's some hot. You're okay. We got to move on. We'll be right back with Michael Mosiman. That's a lie. I met 2 hot chicks this last weekend. at the same place.
Were they from White Oak?
They were from Longview.
Okay, that's different.
Well, my Tinder is not set as a 1 mile radius.
No, I know.
It's like a 100-mile radius.
But I mean,
I get people from freaking Shreveport.
Most of the good-looking ones around here are wifed up.
That's not true because I met 2.
Okay, two,
and that was in literally a 30-minute span at a restaurant.
Oh, at a restaurant?
Yeah, I was at a restaurant.
You were just eating. You're just mowing down chicken fried steak.
Ate with ribs with my dad, and there was a hot chicken to sit next to me that kept looking at me and talking to me.
You just slathered in rib sauce.
I was just like at Vet Nationals.
Yeah.
And I said what's up, and then another person there I also said what's up, and she actually came over the other night. So there you go.
Yeah. How did that go?
It was cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are back with our first guest of the night. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Works Connection. Since the inception of Works Connection in 1989, Eric Phipps's goal has been to produce Works-like products for the general public. With products like the industry standard Pro Launch Start device, the Elite Clutch Perch, radiator braces, customized master cylinder covers, and much more. It's hard to imagine you not going to WorksConnection.com so you too can have what the pros use. Don't forget to use promo code MOTOXPOD20 to save. Tonight, Works Connection brings us from TLD Gas, Michael Mosiman. What's going on, ML?
What's going on?
ML.
Hey,
I called you ML because I was just talking to Michael Lindsay.
Are those the Works Connection?
Yeah.
Are those things where they're like red and they're like different colors and stuff?
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, the little anodized stuff are, but then you got the
I always thought those things were so cool as a kid. I was like, dang, that's amazing.
When you get older and you're not very fast like me, so it's all show and no go, you love all that bling bling.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah, I got all the I used to have all the little oil fill caps. Everything was anodized. Made it look really fast.
Sick.
Yeah.
Cool.
How you been feeling, man?
Dude, glad to be on the show. I've been feeling pretty good. Getting back to it. Haven't been riding a whole lot, but as far as like, I just started a little bit later than some of the other guys, but getting back to it. We're getting the bike sorted out, so it's coming around.
Yeah. Any particular reason you're running a little behind that you want to talk about, or not so much?
Yeah, I broke my neck at Ironman.
That's what I thought.
So I broke my neck there in the first lap, and then I finished the race. I got 14th, and then I went and got checked out. I didn't think it was broken, but it, like some of the harder landings, it was like not feeling good.
Yeah.
And so anyways, after the fact, I went and got checked out, and then they were like, we don't think you should race, and send me off in an ambulance. And then that's a whole story. And then anyways, I had broke C5 and C6.
Wow.
Stable fractures, but scary stuff. So
yeah, you guys kind of kept that on the DL a little bit. We didn't hear much about it. I knew you'd been pretty quiet, and I kind of was asking around and heard that might be the case. Was it just what was the crash like? I don't know what happened.
So I didn't get the best of start, and it was kind of just like, all right, it's time to go. Like, let me just blow some doors off some fools and get to the front while I can, because it's the best time to go to the front at the beginning. And anyway, so I started, trying to make some moves, and I came down off of Godzilla, that big table down, and then there was ruts all the way across, and the smaller ones were on the outside, and then like the worst ones were on the inside, and then the outside berm at the far turn had been freshly prepped. So there was like 6-7 people that went to the inside, one dude that went to the outside, and I went straight down the middle, and I said, I'm just going to bonsai to that outside berm, and I'm going to go around a bunch of people right now. And so I was, bonsaiing as one does. And I was going down the middle, and the guy from the outside starts cutting across to go to the inside. And I was not expecting it, because like there's a perfectly good, smooth, fresh prepped outside berm, and there's like way too many people on the inside. It's a tight corner. So I just did not fathom it, and the guy cut over, and then I'm in the middle, and I was just fine. But then, I'm going fairly quick, and he came over, and I braked to miss him, and then there was like braking bumps, and now instead of bonsaiing, I'm on the brakes in the braking bumps trying to miss a guy. So I missed him, but because I was on the brakes in like the worst section of brake, I got kicked and then went over the bars and kind of straight on my head, and managed to break my neck. So,
wow, that's scary. That is, that's that'll make you.
Yeah, it's real frustrating too when you get to the end. It's like, what would I have done differently there?
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's just one of those things with this sport where you just, it's dangerous, right? Things happen, and you have to rely on other people at times to hopefully not do something dumb as well as you make a mistake, and it just happens.
Yeah, and it's tricky too because, like, I don't know, I'm not unaware of the reputation I'm getting, and it's like, some are totally me, and sometimes when you go down, it's like totally not your fault, and it's just tough, because you gotta you take all of them, put them on the they all look the same. But
yeah, well, you brought that up, and I have that in my notes that we've heard some guys say, hey, look, Michael Mosiman, like you're having great finishes, but then there's always seems like there's just always these little things, these little mistakes. You've talked about it. You just said you're aware of it. But like, how do you, I don't know how you fix some of those things, right? Because sometimes it's freak. Sometimes it's not your fault. There's just some guys that just seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I don't know how do you overcome that?
It's a good question. It's not an easy question.
No.
But I think I do have a path, and I'll try to explain it. There's one part where I feel like concentration, right? And people always say, "Oh, remember to focus." And it's like, all right, focus on what?
Sure.
It's like this. What do you want me to focus on? There's a million things. So there's part of it that if as I'm in the off season critiquing myself, as I'm getting back riding, I'm like, I think I could do with better focus, because sometimes it's like God's given me some skills and to where sometimes it's just coming easy for me, and then I start thinking about other things, and it's not it's not good.
Right.
And so that concentration piece is like something, and the way you focus on that is you got to focus on what you're doing in the present moment. You can't be thinking about the results. You can't be thinking about the person behind you. You can't be thinking about the person in front of you. You got to be thinking about what you're doing in the present moment, and nobody does that perfectly, and so it's just a matter of kind of, I think that's a piece that as far as on my end that I think is really important. And then I think there is a piece of like on the bike end, in my earlier years of racing, and I think even this past year, some that like when you get it at race pace, you tend to push things, a little harder, and you tend to ask a little bit more of your bike than you would in a different, scenario maybe. And when you're, trying to up it one notch when you're already at notch 10, and your bike is, used to you riding it at notch 9.5, then, I think there might be room to, stiffen things up to, so that, the bike can take it when you try to cut real hard. Or things of that nature. So I think there's some concentration. I think there's some, bike wise that we're working on.
Okay.
And it's kind of everything's got to come together. It's hard. It's not an easy thing. And then the other thing is the one that I've made quite a lot of progress on, though it's not always visual, is the self-image. And like if you're a 15th place guy and you believe you're a 15th place guy, then if you get a top 10 start, it's going to be really hard for you to stay in the top 10. Like, you're probably going to drift back to about 15th. But also, if you're a 15th place guy and you go down in the first turn, like, because you're a 15th place guy, that's going to drive you to get up to, about 16th or something, 17th. Where, and in some ways, you'll ride better, kind of where you feel like you should fit in is usually about where you'll fit in. And so I think that it's not an easy thing, to expect yourself to fit in first place, or 30 seconds out ahead or wherever that is. It's like, and so I think I've made a lot of progress in believing in myself, in my capabilities. But if you're in a position, in a good position that you don't see yourself being able to fulfill, then naturally your performance is going to start to drop, and you're going to see more mistakes.
That's just naturally. Yeah, that's a really great theory, and I see where there's a lot of truth to that. I like that. I want to step back just for a second. We were talking about focus, and maybe sometimes focusing on you don't focus on necessarily what you needed to, but you're still focusing on race stuff, right? Because like if it's me out there, I'm like, oh, hey, as soon as I get done, I get to go get some Mexican food. Do I want fajitas or enchiladas? That's not where your mind's going, right?
I mean, it can. I mean, I have a memory from when I was like 13 in the racing the Junior World Championships. I was in 7th place, and I had no one. It was, a huge gap in front of me and a huge gap behind me. And I remember I was in the back corner. It was like dead silent. There's no fans, no anything. And the track's European, so it's super spread out. And I remember I was replaying like the movie Taken in my head that I watched the weekend before.
Yeah, okay.
And I was just like replaying it over and over. And I remember realizing I was replaying it in that back corner. I was like, should probably focus on the race. Like, Junior World Championship is a big deal.
Yeah. So
that's a memory that sticks out. I wouldn't say I have like, things like that often today.
Right.
And I'm very focused, but just being like, I guess I know the mental side, if that makes sense. And it's like, it's difficult to understand in the first place and to like seek out understanding. And then once you do understand, it's even harder to like apply it. And that's where I'm at. And I would say this past year I did a fairly good job, but at some points I could have certainly done a better job of applying some of the mental strategies and exercises. So
gotcha.
I as you were describing it, I feel like it was kind of the similar thing that we saw with Stu a lot. Like he would, he'd be in first or whatever, or and it just, you could see the concentration just maybe was just gone for us half a second, and like
it doesn't take much.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that I've been always kind of a scatterbrain ADHD guy myself, and I kind of have to do that same thing too, where I have to like have a song or something in my head. It kind of keeps the background going so I can focus on what's ahead of me. I think that's something that it can be overcome, but I definitely understand where you're coming from with that, and your image on it was really nice. I
appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I have a little bit more to say on the topic.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
That brings up, another thing that's really tricky is like, it's complicated because you're told to focus, but then I would say all of us can agree that some of our best performances come when it's almost automatic, and we don't feel like we're trying that hard or even focusing that hard, and it's just coming naturally. And like, that's reality for me. And even in some of those performances, your mind can wander. And I think another thing that I found really, profound in my riding is that if like over trying is probably, one of the most prevalent things in my riding, and in I would say most riders, when you see mistakes is when we're really trying hard. And I think when you over try, it's almost like you clog up the space mentally, and you're really prone to, making more mistakes ultimately, because you're not letting it happen. You're not letting it flow. You're not, being patient to let the bike settle or to do what it needs to do. And, I think that's why, maybe you know, with different riders and different athletes, you see mistakes happen in more maybe heavy, I don't know, like heavy battles or, you know, heavy moments where, you know, they start really trying hard because, you know, they got something to fight for, and then you see mistakes. And so that's a tricky thing too, is how do you focus, but also, you know, try not over try. And I, you know, even me right now, I think I'm learning about myself that maybe when I'm, you know, find myself drifting in focus, I catch it and then try to focus, but then in the mirror trying to focus, I start over trying, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a complex thing, and I probably know too much for my own good.
Well, I think we all know by now that you're I don't know if the term overthinker is correct. Like you definitely analyze everything. So for somebody, if you're struggling with something like that in the mental side, then you start trying to figure out, break it all down, and you're focusing on that even more. And maybe, it could be the spiral down, right? Of just constantly trying to figure out what this means. Yeah.
When you do an action, then, you know, at the same time you're doing it, you're questioning if you're doing it right or wrong or, you know, indifferent. Because, I mean, I just went over 3 different theories, and you know, maybe this is why I'm having my problems.
What does Will Hahn say? Is he helping you on the mental side at all?
We work with someone else. He's kind of not passed the torch, but he's kind of, you know, he's on the Zoom meetings and with my mental coach, and and I would say, like, he would say I overthink it for sure, time to time, and I just don't know any different. It's like, it's kind of in my nature.
Yeah, that's how you're wired.
And so it's tricky because anytime someone says I'm overthinking, it's like, no, you're underthinking, or like, no, you just, like, you don't understand.
I hate that stigma.
It's so tricky. No one who's ever been called an overthinker is like, yeah, you're totally right. You know?
Sure. No, yeah, it's how you're wired. My son's the same way. So it's not overthinking. It's thinking.
Yeah,
for you, it's thinking.
Exactly. I struggle with the same thing. People are like, oh, you just need to quit overthinking. I'm like, no, I'm just thinking about it. Like,
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Michael, go ahead, buddy.
I think there's, you know, in life, there's like paralysis of overanalysis, right? And I think there's even like a biblical proverb where it's like, if you watch the clouds and you're waiting for the season to happen, you know, you'll never sow. And, you know, if you wait till it rains, then you'll never reap. And it's kind of this idea is like, if you, in life, you're waiting for the right conditions, like, you'll never move. Mm-hmm. And in that, I do agree that there's, you know, certainly an issue in overthinking. I think that's a more direct application of the term. But yeah, I'm overthinking the concept of overthinking. So here we go.
That's funny.
Go ahead, Scotty.
Hey, so I kind of wanted to know maybe what was one of the most unexpected things or maybe biggest developments in your life on or off the bike that you've kind of gone through this year.
Ooh, unexpected things or biggest developments.
Other than a broken neck?
Yeah, well, I didn't know that going into this.
Yeah, you don't expect a broken neck.
Right.
And what you guys don't expect is that I actually got married this off season.
What?
So I asked a good question.
I did. Yeah, broke my neck, then got married. So
okay,
broke your neck.
Time out.
Yeah, I got the brace off like the week of.
Time out for a second. Like, how long were you dating this girl?
For a year and like 7 months.
Okay, I knew you were dating somebody. I didn't realize it'd been that long. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you. Very happily married. She is
good for you.
Wonderful. So has been almost 2 months. So
good for you.
Yeah,
man.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
I've had the craziest off season.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Is she allowing any homeless people to stay with you?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, she may not be opposed at some point in the future.
Right.
I think very early on, I told her that, like, I am someone who wants to practice radical generosity. and told her, like, if you're gonna kind of like, this is something you really want to think about doing, then like, I gave her all the, stuff up front, and then, we worked things out for, year and 7 months, and
Yeah. Good for
yeah, it
you,
was
man.
awesome.
Good for you. That's a good answer, Scotty. That was big.
Yeah, see, that's why I asked the
I
right
have to give you
questions. I
Yeah,
guess.
so
Yeah.
it wasn't a surprise to me, but it was a surprise to you guys.
Yeah, hey, that works for us. Let's get to the new bike real quick, because you got a new bike, right?
Yes, sir.
How is the new bike compared to the old bike? What do you like about it? What needs improvement for you?
Yeah, so what do I like? So I rode the stock bike first, like bone stock, on some outdoors, and I was pretty impressed. Like speed wise, like the power was pretty good. The suspension, stock was quite soft for me. And then I don't know, just the general handling I thought was pretty good. I feel like the bike is a little bit more. It sits a little bit taller than the last bike, and I feel like it's a little bit more stable.
Okay.
The last bike had some twitchiness in the front that we were, I think we were working through kind of all year. I didn't change much. Like, I'm the type of guy, like, I'm not going to blame the bike. I'm going to take a lot of responsibility on myself. And I'm learning that, there's a lot to be gained. And I've been learning that, but, even more so, the older I get, the more picky I get. I would say the thing that, like, needs to be improved still is I think we can go stiffer still. They started me off on some stuff that, like, on Supercross, that was pretty soft. And then I think day 2, I was like, all right, give me some stiffer stuff. So then we went stiffer, and I think we need to go stiffer still. I tried a stiffer fork today, and it was a lot better. So, and it's kind of the idea. So, you guys might be suspension gurus, but I'm still learning. So one of the things I learned today is, like, when you have to really trust the bike in a corner and, like, really ask it to do a lot and turn sharp, you want something that's stiff and that's not going to give, because it gives you a more direct feel in the corner, and then it also it gives you more room to go even faster, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So if you're too deep in the stroke, then it gets a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more unpredictable, I think. And so a lot of people, their stuff feels really stiff to them, but it's because it's soft and they're riding deep in the stroke. And so it's giving them a harsh feeling, but it's actually too soft, where the top of the stroke is more plush. So if you have it so stiff that you're only using the top of the stroke, and occasionally you get deeper, then it's going to feel softer, but it's actually going to be stiffer.
I'm going to tell you that conversation that you just gave me this weekend, I rode, and I was riding my YZ250, which I don't ride much. It was so uncomfortable. I couldn't figure out what was going on with the suspension. I reached out to my suspension guy. I reached out to Chris Kiefer. Everything they said made very little sense to me. What you just said made all the sense in the world. So thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
I feel like I could go ride this weekend and figure my problem out now, Scotty.
I want to thank you too, because I'm riding that bike this weekend, so I really appreciate that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So we rode a different track, and I got it pretty comfortable, and I started, getting up to pretty good speed and consistent laps, and then we went to another track, and it had a little bit steeper transitions, a little bit more awkward, a little rougher. And I didn't have the best of day. And then later that day, I was like thinking about it, thinking, there we go again. And I realized all the transitions were steeper and harsher. So because they were putting me deeper in the stroke.
Yep.
And then I would feel like unsure as to, sometimes when it goes deep in the stroke, it wants to pull one way or another in the rhythms. And, that's why sometimes people will go for a really big jump and they'll like go sideways, or like, when they land, or overshoot something, they go shoot off sideways one way or another. And it just, it has to do with the balance of the bike. And, but yeah, anyway, so there was part of that. And then another part of it was there was some hard landings, like into the turns. And I was feeling like there was a pause in the middle of my corner. But what was happening is, because my suspension wasn't stiff enough, I would land and then it would go down and then back up. And then I would be in the middle of the turn. Instead of, if it was stiffer, then it would be more one motion and it wouldn't go down quite as much. And then by the time I got to the turn, it would plant because it's not having quite as much up and down motion. Yeah. And so I felt like super rushed on my entry to corners, and I couldn't roll it like I'm used to because it was wanting to, push me high, or, my front end was getting light where I wanted to cut down. And it's because it just wasn't taking that impact quite right.
I like the insight to that. That really helped me out quite a bit. No joke.
Dark Side's over here.
Like, I want to go load up, go ride right now. We've got to get some lights.
He's got the paper smoking over there. He's writing notes down so fast.
Go ahead, Scott. We got one more for you, Michael, and we're going to let you go.
Yeah.
So, especially off of what we've talked about this evening, and it seems like you're in a really good mental headspace and everything. I just kind of wanted you to compare your expectations of going into this season compared to some expectations that you've had seasons prior.
Yeah. So I actually haven't fully set my goals yet. I plan to do that within the next week. However, just thinking about where they might go, expectations last year were really high, and I think I underwhelmed. I think, obviously I had some highs, and I, reached some places that I haven't reached. I think I just reached a level of riding that I haven't reached. And so this year, I think the goals in some way are going to be similar, because I obviously I want to win the championship, and it's time. It's win or no one's happy, and neither will I be. And I always, and the thing is though, it's like it's so tricky because I don't want to focus on, when I'm racing, I don't want to focus on the result. I want to focus on my performance, and what do I have to do to have a winning performance. And not everything's in my control. I can't control, how my performance goes entirely. And there's all sorts of stuff that has to go right. But, I want to be proud every day and every race, every weekend that, I executed what I knew to do well. And if I have, internally and mentally a winning performance, and I was focused at a level that I'm happy with, then the results, they'll happen naturally. So I think it's, I think that speaks kind of close to your question. I don't know if that's
I like that. Like you say if I do these things right, then that other stuff will just happen. And I that has been one of the things that I'm 32 years old now, and I didn't learn that for a long time. And I always would try to fight and fix all the details, rather than just, doing what I need to be doing and then letting all that stuff work itself out. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think narrowing it down. What's interesting, I've heard this. I don't know that it's true, but so, how like some athletes, they just go on like incredible years, right? Where they win everything in their sport, and, like Michael Phelps, like going to the Olympics and win everything, right? Mm-hmm. It's like most of those guys, if you ask them after the fact, like if they expected to have such dominance, they don't really expect it. And the reason is because they're not thinking about the result. They're thinking about the steps of performance. And because they're thinking about the steps of performance, the results happen. But the people that are caught up in the results, usually end up missing on the results.
Right, yeah. Good stuff tonight, Michael. Really, it's always so insightful talking to you. You're just, as we've said many times, you're a different personality in this sport, and I love hearing your insight.
I appreciate that. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun having, it's fun getting interviewed. People, it's a nice thing when people care what you have to say.
Well, I've been a fan of yours since I met you in 18?
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, no, it's been a bit. It's been a bit.
Yeah, sitting there.
We have a special relationship. You were like big fan before anyone was.
Yeah. I think it was maybe St. Louis or something. You were there at the press conference with your mom, and I don't remember what round it was. I want to say it was St. Louis, but that might not be right. But yeah. So, dude, I just like you, man. I think you're a good kid. Obviously, you're a good kid, and you're not even a kid now. You're a man. You're married, but. To me, you're a kid. And yeah, you're just a different personality, and I enjoy it, man. So thank you for being you, and I cannot wait to see what you have for this season.
Dave, thank you so much, and you'll have to meet my wife.
I can't wait. I will definitely come say hi. I'll be at a lot of races this year now that I work for Vital. I don't know if you knew that, but I'll be at a lot of races, so I will definitely come by and visit.
He's big time now, Michael. You got to get in line now.
Dang, okay.
No such thing. Same old guy, man. Just like you, same guy.
Yeah, love it.
All right, Michael. You have a good night. Enjoy your Bible study, and thank you for giving us some time.
Right on.
Okay.
Thank you, guys, and listeners, keep enjoying.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See ya. Thank you. Michael Mosiman. Man, I just dig that kid.
And you were worried, but we were going to get good stuff out of him. And he's like,
I was worried that I didn't have good questions.
Oh,
well, not that he wasn't going to give good content.
It kind of worked itself out.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure if he had gotten hurt. I had heard he had a neck injury. Didn't know if he was going to want to talk about it. So I had it in my notes, but I thought if he gets into it and I was correct, that's good content. But if he just I don't want to talk about it, then I was like, oh boy, we're kind of. But yeah, he's just a good interview. Yeah,
I didn't really have the time to squeeze it in, but I was going to say he pulled a Mike Tyson where like he was at the end of that fight and I'm like, what happened in that fight? Mike's like, I broke my back. My back's broken. He just finished a race with a broken neck and just no big deal. My neck was broke. Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. We're about 3 minutes late for Enzo, so we'll be right back. We're back, and our next guest of the night. It's going to be brought to you tonight by X Brand Goggles. X Brand Goggles is one of the top companies for privateers, such as Kyle Chisholm. Actually, I think that's changed now, Scotty, because he's going to HEP. But
He's going to where?
With X Brand, huh?
He's going to what?
HEP. Anyway, Kyle Chisholm, Ben LeMay, Ryan Brees, many more. Tonight, X Brand Goggles brings us from Club MX our boy Enzo Lopes. What's up, Enzo?
What's up, boys? How are you?
We're doing good, man. So my first question, I know you're coming back. You just recently got back on the bike. You had the wrist issue. How's it feeling?
Oh, it's back to normal now. So, yeah, I've been searching for my issue for 2 years almost, and it was really frustrating,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say 6 weeks ago, I underwent carpal tunnel surgery. And it was actually like something super minor, that I could have fixed a long time ago, but I just didn't have the right answers at the time. So, yeah, right now I'm just, I've been back on the bike for a while, and it's been going really well.
Now, didn't you had surgery and then had an infection? Is that right? So they had to go back in?
Well, yeah, so I did, like I said, I didn't know what I had. And then so first, in 2020, I did the first surgery on my wrist. Okay. And then that didn't work. And then I had arm pump surgery to see if that would fix. And then that one, 40 days after, I got a super bad infection, and then, it went downhill from there, and then the problem was never fixed. Okay. And then, then October 16th is when I had surgery, I think it was. No. Yeah, October 16th. So, yeah, it's been a while.
But, yeah, so seems all better. Man, that's got to be inspiring and got to have you excited that it's all better. It seems to be all better.
No, it's just like a relief feeling. Is that how you say?
Yeah,
absolutely. It's not easy to ride with not an injury, but with something bothering you. I know I have what it takes, but then having something holding you back all the time. I would do 5 laps into the main event, and my arm would be super big, and I couldn't feel anything. So that would be mentally really frustrating, and I would line up, and I knew I would just pray that nothing would happen, but at every round I suffer with that. And practice, it was okay because I would do one lap and it would be like really good. So yeah, I mean, I'm just glad to get that over with.
Yeah, you got 5th overall, I think, this season in Supercross. Were you happy with a 5th, considering the issue with your wrist, that you still feel like you rode pretty well?
Yeah, no, it was really good actually. And then the only round I didn't have any issues was Daytona, which I got 5th, and I was on the podium for 11 minutes, and then we had some my clutch was slipping really bad, so I dropped, but I still got 5th, which was really good. And then in that practice, I was 2nd behind Jet. And then Salt Lake, I went P1 in qualifying practice. So, I mean, I know I have the speed, you know, and now with my arm better, it's just, I just got to keep charging, I guess.
Remotivated.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that was kind of one of my questions, Enzo, is those results last year did that kind of come unexpectedly? And then how has that kind of changed how you're going to look at this upcoming season?
I wouldn't say it was unexpected because me and the team, we're here during the week, and I know like how I feel on the bike, but it's different to translate into race days, you know. Obviously here we're used to the tracks, the environment, and it changes everything on race day. But I started slowly. I got 8th on the first round and just kept improving, and there's something called confidence that helps a lot. And I kind of know what to expect now. I know I have what it takes, like I said, and I'm just stoked to be healthy and to be riding with the team here and doing great.
Do you know what coast you're going to ride yet? I assume East.
As far as right now, yeah, I'm East, and I kind of like it because it's a little bit, I would say, more technical.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's what I've been doing for the past few seasons.
Right. I remember that. Yeah, because we started in Minneapolis this last year. So yeah, East to be good. How's the bike right now? Have you made any improvements from last year? Are you feeling pretty comfortable on it? Any changes? Anything different?
To be honest, the first day I got here, I told the boys I want the same bike I rode on Salt Lake, which was P1, because it was a good feeling, you know. And ever since then, I've been riding the same bike. But Jamie from Twisted was here just last week, but he was mainly testing with Jerma and Phil because they're racing west. And I did try some mapping stuff, but for me, I'm just putting in the time, you know, on and off the bike, and we still have like 7 weeks until East starts.
Yeah.
So we got some time, but right now I'm just focused on getting, you know, my fitness back, my speed, and just getting comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to ask how the vibes at Club MX have been this off season. Maybe some highlights for us.
Well, we got a brand new shop, and then who they put sitting next to Phil? Me. Yeah, on the lockers. Yeah.
Yeah, you.
So we could have. You could have been a little bit better.
Well, yeah, nobody wants to sit next to Phil. I mean, you, Jeremy, anybody that's next to him is going to feel his wrath.
It's always me. I don't know. I'm the chosen one, I guess. It's funny because on the race days as well, I always find Phil on the track, like last season, this past season. Yeah, so it's funny. But no, we have a great time here. I mean, Phil is, you know, everyone knows Phil. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
And with Jerma here and Garrett, it's just good vibes. Like I said, the new shop is pretty badass. We got 3 tracks. Well, we just rode today, actually. One of them, it kind of rained. It was, like, really, really technical, so it's just really good practice. And then we also have some other teams riding here. And then the other day we had, like, 15 guys riding, so it's basically the track. The way the track gets is just like on race day, so it's really, really good for us.
Yeah,
it's been good vibes.
I've talked to a bunch of the guys on the Phoenix team, and they've been riding out there quite a bit, right? Cullen and those boys.
Yeah, Cullen, Jace, Kyle.
Yeah, that team's going to be good this year, man.
Yeah, they're making a big effort. Yeah, they've got plenty of guys. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you this. I don't know if you'll give me the straight answer. I heard that Phil has been faster than Jeremy a lot this off season so far.
Well, Well, I've been here for a while now, but it's funny because one day it's German, one day it's Phil, so it's cool.
Okay.
Well, Phil is really old, so I mean, just for him to be riding at this point, you know.
Yeah.
To even get a leg over the bike.
Yeah. He's got to use his cane to get to the bike. Yeah, he's got to have got to have his insure. You're making fun. I'm twice as old as freaking Phil there, Enzo.
No, but we're talking about Phil right now.
That's
Don't
true.
worry about it.
Fair enough.
No, they've both been really, really good.
Good
It's
to
been
hear.
sick.
I hope so, man. I want good things for your whole team this season, man. I don't want any injuries. I want to see everybody do well. Yeah, we got to have a healthy Club MX at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's what we all want. I mean, nobody likes to get injured, and be healthy through the whole season, and I think the results will show.
Absolutely.
It's been going good so far here.
Just real quick, we all heard that J Mark had a bike issue. There wasn't any injury involved with
he's
that.
Fine.
He's fine.
I thought I told you that. No.
Oh, okay. You didn't know earlier.
No. Yeah, he's good.
Oh, that wasn't really.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
You got anything?
Yeah. So my actual question I was going to ask you is, I know you had spent some time back in Brazil and probably got good food and all that stuff. And I wanted to ask, what is an Americanized food that we do here that compares most to some of your favorites from Brazil?
That's a hard one.
None.
No, yeah, none.
It's just such a different lifestyle. Like I will go back home and then stay there for a while, and I kind of get used to the lifestyle there and living there. And then I get back here and everything feels so weird, but then I get used to it,
Right.
And then when I go back home, it feels super weird.
Well,
But
explain. Weird how? Like, we don't know.
It's so different because, let's say right now at club, we're in preseason, and then for us in Brazil, lunch is like the biggest meal of our day, which is at 12:30,
Yeah.
noon. And then whereas now, I'm riding at 12 because we start at 12, so it kind of breaks that for me, So I'm having lunch at 4, and it kind of breaks that for me. When I'm in Brazil, everyone will stop. Me and my family would go have this big lunch, And then, whereas here breakfast is super important for me, it's never been the same, So it's just completely different. And to compare the foods, it's tough, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because I try to keep eating the same things I eat back home, pasta or steak or chicken.
Ooh.
Oh, this sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. I like it.
You put all of those things into a pasta, and I'm game.
Just one dish. I like it. Hey, take us through Motocross of Nations, man. I know you had a bike issue, I believe, and that did not go how you wanted. But just the honor of being on the team, the fans, and then just how the weekend unfortunately went.
Oh man, it's just, I guess, the best feeling you can have. For me, honestly, to represent my country, Brazil. I have a lot of fans back home that support me. Brazil fans, they really get into it, with the Brazilian flags on the comments. So I love it. But it's just an honor for me. And Red Bud couldn't be at any better place. And it was good actually. I felt really good. I was still struggling a little bit with my arm, but I was 7th in qualifying, and then the last few laps I felt like my bike was slowing down a little bit, and we washed it, and after that we started hearing a noise, and then unfortunately I didn't have a spare bike, so I tried to find a different bike, but they only had a stock bike for me to race, and I'm like, I don't know.
No, thank you.
No, the Motocross of Nations, I would like to, but then I wouldn't be at my best, so it's just hard.
Sure.
And the weekend was overall, it was good because I felt good and I did well in practice, but I could never, race and try to qualify Brazil, and I think we had a good shot at it this season, but hopefully next year. But for me, just to be there racing for Brazil, we got the cool FXR gear. It's just super, super special, man. It's just unreal feeling.
Yeah, those guys at I don't know if you've ever met Andy White at FXR. I met him recently, and I'm actually testing some FXR gear this weekend that I've never worn before, so it seems like such a great product.
Oh no, they're the best. Yeah, Andy, Brad, Milt, Carson, they're just all good people. And
Yep.
like to have this gear with Brazil colors and then my name on it was super special. And I loved it.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I had that picture up on our
Yeah.
YouTube. Do you think that team would have put the efforts into doing that without you? Were you kind of like the staple for that?
They would, but they kind of, I don't know how to explain because they kind of put most of the, like, not the pressure on me, but they need like a good result to get through. Obviously you need two, but like I would be the one to get like the best one, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of hope for me to do really well and then kind of help the team, qualify. But I think they would go without me anyway. But like I said, for me to represent Brazil, it's super special. So I want to be racing these nations as much as I can.
Yeah, they probably put a lot of the weight on your shoulders. Like they knew that you were going to carry them to a much better result than maybe somebody else could.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
Yeah.
I just didn't want to sound like that.
Sure,
but
I understand.
it's just right now it's a fact, and I would like to have more guys coming up, and hopefully we do. Because it's good for our sport and for our country. But yeah, I think they raced the last few races without me.
Yeah,
but they never did qualify.
Now, I saw on your Instagram did you go to Brazil to do an arena cross?
Oh, that was back in 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, November from last year, like a year ago.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got invited to go race there. So I raced that since I was a little kid in Brazil. I'm actually like 5 times arena cross champion in Brazil. But arena cross in Brazil is like a small track, super easy, but a little bit bigger than arena crosses here.
Mm-hmm.
But so they had this special last race, like a super final, and then the track was an actual supercross track built by like some guys from England, and then they invited me to go. Actually, Kate Clayson was there, Ryan Breeze, but they all raced 450 class. I raced MX2. So yeah, obviously it's cool to race overseas and then to race in my home country. You can't get any better than that. And then I won. A lot of fans were there, like a lot of pictures, because the last time I raced in Brazil before that was 2016. So people would only see me on TV, so they had a chance to see me actually racing. And Supercross, it was incredible feeling, it was just awesome.
Special. Yeah.
Yeah, so Enzo, go ahead.
No, you go.
So with Phil having apparently, I'm air quoting, some speed according to our sources. How has he been trash talking? Has there been any off weird bets or anything going into this season we got going on?
No bets as of now, but there's trash talk every day.
There's not going to be any bets because he's too cheap.
He won't even put it on himself.
That's true. He was telling me today, "Oh, Enzo, I only give you, and you don't give anything back to me." I said, "Phil, you need some love, brother."
Yeah. He's always got something to say. But you know what? I'll tell you this, Enzo. At Motocross of Nations, Saturday night, down there at the pit bike race, he was down there with Andy White, and I was with him, and there was fans going insane, and he took so much time to talk to the fans. So people can talk all day long about him being grumpy Phil, but he's a nice guy, really, right? He likes having fun, he likes talking trash, but at the end of the day, he's good people.
No, he's really grumpy, but once you get to know him, it feels a really good dude. There's been a lot of trash talk between me, him, Jerma, Garrett. It's every day.
Oh, yeah.
We should have a camera on the whole time because it's funny.
I agree.
Yeah, I watched him give unprompted, he gave a kid a jacket at Dallas, and just like the kid was sitting there freezing, and he just like, here's a jacket. And it was like, didn't do anything crazy. It was a nice gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, Enzo, last question.
That's funny and cool.
Yeah.
Last question I have for you is there's a couple riders through the series that have all this hype around them. And do you prefer, there's always these theories with us on these podcasts and the shows of, oh, what team is Pro Circuit going to send so-and-so to have to go battle Jet, or are they going to stay away from Jet? So they have a better chance. What do you think about those kind of conversations? Because to me, a guy like yourself, you want to go race the best. That's what I would think.
I mean, I'm ready for, whatever you threw at me. Like, if I have to go west, like, I would go. I mean, I'm not choosing, I want to be with the best. If that means Jet Lawrence, so be it. If it means, I don't know, like McAdoo, so be it. I'll be ready. I'm doing the work, and hopefully it shows, but usually I'm the sleeper. Nobody really talks about me.
True.
And I kind of enjoy that. I've been putting in the work, and hopefully this year's the turnaround for me. But yeah, there's a lot of talking about some guys, especially Jet, obviously. But I mean, he's proven. What can you say?
Yeah, he has the results. It's fair, but I just wonder, as when you're the competitor, how that makes you feel, if you even care.
I used to more back in the day. Now I just want to prove that I can be, as much as he is right now, I can do the same things.
Yep.
So
that's a perfect answer.
What? Yeah, no, I know I have what it takes, so it's just a matter of time right now.
Well, I can't wait for the East Coast to start, man. I'm looking forward to it. I think the first, I don't even know. I don't have the schedule in front of me. I don't remember what the first round is, but it's maybe Dallas.
It's February 4th. Yeah, I know it's Houston.
Houston, yeah, that's right. I think Dallas might be in West Coast this year. I can't, but Houston. That's right. Right after the California rounds.
Yeah.
Well, that theory is kind of dumb to me, because if everybody goes the opposite coast of Jet, then it's going to make the other coast just harder.
Right. I don't know. It's just something that we all talk about. But hey, Enzo, we're going to let you go. I appreciate you coming on tonight, man. It's always fun talking to you. You're an entertaining guy. I love your attitude, and can't wait to see you race.
No, I appreciate the time for having me back on. I mean, I love it. Like I said, I don't do much of these because I never had the opportunity. So thank you so much. I enjoy a lot.
Absolutely. We'll get you back on right before the season starts. We'll do something on Vital.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, buddy. Take care, and thank you.
Thank you.
See ya. That's Enzo Lopes, Club MX. It's going to be a good season. I can't wait, man. We are less than a month away.
I know. It kind of snuck up.
Yeah.
It's like, boom, all of a sudden it's there.
I thought you were having problems.
No, I'm just doing my thing over here.
Somewhat of a short show. How's the YouTube chat tonight?
That's my super short show.
How's YouTube chat tonight?
Oh, dude, they had me.
Yeah, I saw you over there giggling.
Dude, their comments of Michael were somewhat interesting.
Okay. All right. Well, we're not going to get into that too much. I do want us to tell everybody that if you guys are listening, we've talked about for a long time. Come January, MotoXpod show is going to be part of Vital MX. Michael, Lindsay, and I talked a little bit more this week, trying to figure some things out. But the show will remain on the MotoXpod show podcast form, the same place you're getting it now. As of now, it could end up on the Vital one eventually, but right now it's going to stay on just like it has been. It's not going to change. We have some new sponsors coming on board. I can go ahead and announce. Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to announce it. We hadn't talked about it, but Race Tech staying on board.
Don't do the what did you do for? It was Fly, right? Where you?
Yeah, I posted it like an hour too early or something.
God.
But Race Tech's going to be our title sponsor. They're staying on board. Got some new ones coming on. Boyson's coming on board. Guts Racing, FXR, 60 helmets, and then the race winning brands, which is Wiseco, Pro X, Recluse. It's all going to be part of the show. And there's a few others that we're working on locking in. It's going to be good. I think there's going to be a lot of positive stuff. Just for you guys that are Patreon supporters, I'm going to shut that down at the end of this month. So
shutting it
everybody paid up. We appreciate everybody that's been a Patreon supporter, but we're going to go ahead and let you guys keep your little bit of your money, and we appreciate it. But now that Vital's taking it over, I'm going to give you guys a break on that for now. So we'll close that account.
We got a new daddy.
Yeah, we're going to figure that out. Things are going to change a little bit, but the show format is going to be similar. There's going to be some differences. Probably going to be a different night of the week so that TJ can be here more. We're going to try to do Gypsy Tales-ish things with the cameras where Michael Lindsay will be in California. He can come on with video. Maybe we can get some guys in California, some writers, to go over to Michael's house and be in the studio that he's building and have writers via video live. And then once we announce our newest employee that Michael kind of hinted about last night on Pulp, which I think we're announcing that Monday, that gentleman will also be doing this podcast with us at times, and he's going to have some really cool insights and different guests that we haven't ever had before. So, cool things coming. Let us know what you guys think. motoxpodshow@gmail.com. Give us your thoughts.
They all were. I love my YouTube guys. They were all making sure that I was still going to be a part of the show. I love the support.
Yeah, well, he's not. We haven't told him yet, but he's not.
So I said someone has to do the cameras and talk to you goons.
I'll just run the cameras too. I'll click the buttons.
Man, I got to do the cameras and everything.
I'll just push the 3 buttons you pushed. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
1, 2, 3,
All
4.
right, fine, I'm going.
4, 3,
Deuces.
2, 1. 1, 3, 2, 4.
Yep, that's all I do.
Yep.
That's all I do.
Guys, it's a wrap for 251. I want to thank Michael Mosiman, Enzo Lopes. I want to thank Cherubies USA, Race Tech, Fly Racing, X Brand Goggles, Works Connection, Torque One Racing, R Jerky, Berm Lords Graphics, and Jersey ID. Shucks Ox, Wiz Motorworks, Extreme Colors, Blood Lubricants, Grill Your Ass Off, TruFusion Sports, Power Band Racing. Use the promo codes while we still have them. There will be some new ones coming in 23. Anything else, Scotty, before we go?
Nope.
Okay, well, it was a good show. It's somewhat short. TJ, maybe
Everybody
back
said
on
you
the
got to
next
get to that date.
No show next week. We're out.